Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Ignite Your Membership event. Thank you so much for joining us. As you all know, as a chamber member, you do have access to a wide range of services. And this morning, we're going to hear from some of our affiliate partners about the benefits each of them provides to help you make the most of your chamber membership. So may I first introduce Mandy Hutchinson from Quest, who's going to take you through some of the highlights of this brilliant benefit that you received. So over to you, Mandy. Thank you very much.
Hi all. Hi, Mandy, as Sue said, from Quest. Quest Business Services offer you HR, health and safety, tax, legal and VAT advice lines. So any queries that you have, feel free to give us a call and we'll give you the answers. There's also a document library available with downloadable documents, contracts, legal letters, debt collecting letters, health and safety policies, risk assessment processes for you so that you can adapt those. If you have problems with any of those or you need help with adapting them to be suitable for you and your business, again, you can give the advice line a call and they will talk you through how to deal with that and the best ways to kind of put that together. The document library has over 800 different documents. We also offer a one-to-one, so we'll talk you through the benefits of what you get from ourselves, but also we'll talk you through the documents that you should have in place to help you. And again, we can advise then in terms of where to find the information on the document library to ensure that you are meeting legislation. There's also, as part of the service, the LEI insurance that you get, which is obviously really important, and it is very, very good. It's something that obviously is a huge benefit to you guys. So that covers you for up to £1 million per year, and it's £100,000 in any one claim. So that covers you for things like representation in the case of a health and safety prosecution, criminal prosecution, defence and jury service. So again, it'd be key that you are using Quest for the advice line to ensure that that does stand and following the advice that you are given. But any questions on anything like that, you can always give the guys at the chambers a call or obviously speak to ourselves. Yeah, so that's it really in a nutshell. You'll obviously get your own Quest login so that you can access all of that information, and any problems that you get with accessing the service or having a log on, then obviously again we require you to speak to the chamber. The final thing really that I wanted to share is that we have actually got a webinar coming up, which we would encourage everybody to join. Something that we do fairly regularly. They're normally really key topics. So I've put the details up on the screen. Hope you can all see that. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put the link onto the chat. It's all about the employment law changes in 2023. We think there's obviously going to be quite a few of those coming through. So you know, could be some really important information in there. Something we, again, as I say, we try to do quite a few and they're free for everybody to join. So please feel free to join. If anybody's got any questions, happy to try and answer them for you.
Thank you, Mandy. Does anyone have any questions or would like to share any experience that they've had with using Quest services so far in their membership?
I have, Mandy. You know, the webinars that you're doing, are they just for chamber members? Are they for any organisation?
Any organisation, they're open for anybody to join. We welcome anybody to jump on them. So yeah, feel free. And feel free, obviously we do share it on our LinkedIn page again, so feel free to reshare for us. And yeah, the more the merrier. As far as we're concerned, the more information people get, then the better.
Yeah, I'm sure that we can share that on our socials as well for you.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, really, the last thing to say is, you know, anything, it doesn't matter how small or trivial you think it would be, give the guys a call. They're happy to help. And it's always nice to know that you've got the right information there, or even just talk through a scenario. That's what they're there for. We like to keep the guys busy. So yeah, pick up the phone.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to our next speaker this morning? Can't see any questions in the chat. I'll move on then to Esther. Esther is at the AA, and Esther's going to give us a lovely overview of what we can expect to receive if we should take up the offer and the benefit with the AA. So over to you, Esther. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Good morning, everybody. Please bear with me. I've got a little bit of a bad cough, so I may go on mute just to cough and then I'll come back to you. Vic, have you got my slides? Do you want to pop up? Thank you. All right, the first slide, please. So I'm just going to run through some of the underlying rules with regards to this scheme with the AA. This has been going since 1993 or something like that. So it's been a long time. This is a partnership between the Chamber and the AA. The service is applicable for any vehicles from, if you've got a fleet from one vehicle up to 500. The vehicle has to be used or has to have some element of business use. So that could mean you could go to meetings or you go to events. That's classed as business use. You can take the cover out for that. The discount equates to up to 67%, which is a huge saving when you compare to what our standard rates are. The policy will then last for a full 12 months. If you're clever enough, depending on when you join, you can actually get 13 months for the price of 12 plus your 67% discount. So for instance, if you joined today, you would get the remainder of April free, but your contract wouldn't start until the 1st of May. So that's another little tip if you wanted to get even more value out of the membership. One of the criteria is for this, the vehicles have to be under 3.5 tons gross vehicle weight. So that's all your cars would be covered. Anything like a Ford Transit van would fit into that criteria as well. And then we have got maximum height and width dimensions as well. It doesn't matter whether the car is owned by the company or if it's privately owned or leased. You may find leasing companies have their own package, so you probably get breakdown cover in that anyway, but it can be your own private car or it can be a company car. There are a few ways you can actually get access to the cover. We have got a dedicated URL, which I can share with you, Sue, and you can pass on if need be. That dedicated URL will take you straight to the quote page, and you can just go through and select what level of cover you need. Or you can call the call centre. They're open Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. Again, you will need to quote the code. They will then ask you a series of questions to find out what your needs are, and then they'll sort of link the needs to the actual policy itself for you. The promotion code has to be used like I've just said, but then also you have to just say that you are part of the chamber, which chamber you're part of. Then also the reporting can go back to the team, just to let them know who've taken the policies up. So that's quite good, just to make sure that all members are still getting access to that. That code has to be used when you join. It has to be used when you renew. And one of the difference between this scheme as opposed to our other benefits and other offers that we have, once you've joined through the chamber, that discount will remain with you while you're a chamber member. So when you come to renew, the renewal will always go out then at that discounted rate. If you then change your fleet size, so if you add vehicles, it's then pro rata of that discounted rate. So that price is then fixed, which always equates to up to 67%. So there's no need for negotiations on your renewal. It just goes out at the standard rate for the duration that you are a member of the chamber, and that's quite a good saving and a good thing to know. You can budget quite easily for what's going to happen if you do need to add vehicles throughout the contract. Next slide, please. So there's different levels of cover that you can pick from, and I've got 2 slides. This is like the first one. These are the most common levels of cover. So like I said, they will ask you a series of questions, and depending what your needs are, will sort of fit to this. So we'd call this product fleet wide, and the most basic cover is roadside and at work or home start, wherever you are. And then depending what you need, if you travel nationally, we can include that. If you want to have the options to have alternative car hire, hotel accommodation, we can add that in as well. Or if you then want us to manage, if you have an accident, to take over that claim for you and deal with that, we can do that as well. So those are the 5 different levels. And then there's a brief explanation on there. So you've got roadside and home start, national recovery, relay plus, which is your car hire, at home, and then accident management. And then you've also got the option of European travel if you do travel abroad for work as well. With the European travel, maximum stays 90 days. If you could 90 days abroad, you could come back for one and then go back again for another 90. So that's really good value for money. I think it's about £28. That's per vehicle per year. So it's really good value for money as well. And if you just, the next slide, please. And then the other levels of cover, we call those specialists. And these are for things like if you've got a taxi company or your courier company, ice cream van companies and things like that, because the vehicles are on the road a bit more, there's a higher risk of them actually breaking down. So these prices are a little bit higher than the fleet-wide cover, but they are still heavily discounted as well. And then again, you can see the different elements that you can have: roadside, national recovery, accident management, and at work. The only difference with this cover, we don't offer the Relay Plus, which is the alternative car hire, because they are specialist vehicles. So it's not likely that we're going to be able to give you one that's going to suit your needs for that 48-hour period. Next one, please. And this slide just gives you a scale of our operation. I mean, I don't know if you know, you probably see little yellow vans on the road all the time, but it's just, and it's not just the little yellow vans. We have dedicated patrols who specialise in, who carry more batteries than normal, or we've got vehicles that can do fuel drains at the roadside. So if you have the misfortune of putting petrol in diesel or vice versa, they can actually come and do that drainage, flush the vehicle through, and then top it with about £5 worth of fuel as well. Obviously, we've got recovery patrols. We have patrols who are dedicated to recalls, depending on which manufacturers you're in. If there's like a fault, they'll come out and do that repair as part of the manufacturer's scheme. We have patrols who are dedicated to keys. So if you, again, the misfortune of either breaking your keys, losing your keys, they can actually come out and cut a set of keys at the roadside for you, or reprogram the transponders if need be. And then to back all that up, we have about nearly 500 garage agents. So when we've got extreme weathers or extreme circumstances, we call on these agents just to help us out, just to make sure that you are getting best service that you can. So it totals about nearly 3,000 patrols, whichever you want to call them, in total, and that's what you get access to as part of your membership with the Chamber of Commerce. Next slide, please. And also the AA are a major shareholder in ARC. So when you go abroad, you've got this foundation. You take out European cover, you then get put into this scheme where you have access to like ADAC in Germany and the other European breakdown organisations as well. So there's a consistency of cover, whether you're in the UK or whether you go abroad. We do on occasion also have our patrols go out to France or to Europe to either help with events. We do it to help UK breakdowns, to help them as well, to get them back to the UK. So you may, if you go to France, you may actually see an AA van patrol in certain parts of France as well. But we're part of this organisation, so there's a reciprocal service no matter where you are in Europe, apart from France. If France haven't got a breakdown organisation, they just use garages. Next slide, please. And as part of everything we do, for like the day-to-day, we heavily invest in making sure we're prepared for the future and trying to innovate for new equipment and new technologies that's going to help not just you as the member, but also to look after the patrols as well. So I'll just go through, pick out a couple of these. We've got a piece of equipment called a freewheeling hub. Now, this allows us to recover 4x4s and electric vehicles, whereas before we couldn't actually do this. We'd have to do like a full lift and move those vehicles across. This piece of equipment allows us to do a normal recovery. All the vans have this equipment on board, and basically what it does, we attach special wheels so we can actually then tow that vehicle. And we've also got what's called a spare, like a tyre we can fit to any car. So if you've got a flat tyre, this multi-wheel, well, you can actually drive to like Quick Fit or Halfords. We then take the tyre off, and then you get your tyre fixed, and then we go on our way. So we're always looking at ways that we can make things easier for yourself and safer for our patrols. So the downtime that you're sat waiting at the roadside is as minimal as possible. But we're always looking at ways to improve the service that we provide for you. Next slide, please. And these are some of our valued partnerships. So we've got major leasing and fleet companies, lots of manufacturers. I think you probably recognise most of those that are on the list. And the newest partnerships we have are with charge post operators. So some of these names you may not know, but we also now deal with calls if you are unlucky enough to have a problem where you can't recharge your vehicle if you've got an electric vehicle. So we've now partnered with these 8 charge post operators, but we take your calls as well to help you recharge your vehicle or reset the machines as well. So it's quite varied what we're actually doing now, not just breakdown. And these are just a few of our stats. Over 40 million people rely on us for breakdowns. If you click it again, please, Vic. We normally fix 8 out of 10 cars at the roadside. Next one. We've got more dedicated patrols than any other breakdown service in the UK. The next one. On Defaqto, members rate us 4.6 out of 5, which is a good score. Next one. We actually rescue someone every 9 seconds on average. So it's quite interesting as we're talking through, if you just think every 9 seconds we're actually going out to somebody, that's a lot of calls throughout the course of a day, a month, a year, and so on. Gets the most of our members within 30 minutes. It's about 30 to 4 minutes now is the average time to arrival. And obviously we're approved by Which, Defaqto and Whatcar. And I think we have won the Which logo. We've won the Which Award 4 years consecutively for 4 years in a row, which is it's quite impressive. So that shows the commitment we've got to making sure the service we provide for the customers is better than everybody else. Like says best in class, but then also you are getting value for money. And if it then goes wrong, then we have dedicated teams who can look into your concerns and you'll get an answer back with regards if it's a complaint or if you're unhappy with the service. So it's not just about taking your money and saying we're going to give you the service. If it does go wrong, which sometimes it does, is what we do after that. That's the most important part as the whole package as well. And then the last slide just goes through some of the awards that we've won. Like I said, we've done Which 4 years in a row. We've won safety awards, we won the Green Fleet Awards, but we're always striving to be better. It's easy to be the person at the top. We're the ones who everybody wants we've got the target on our backs to knock us off, but we try really hard to do the best that we can for every member. And as part of the thing I want to say as well is, from the Chamber's point of view, we have got some very large companies in there as well, and they are huge with fleets of like 400,000. You get the same service with your one vehicle as they would get with their 300,000 vehicles as well. So that's an important thing to remember. You're not just the one-man band, you are an important part of what we do for the AA. You get the same level of service as if you were, investing 300,000, 400,000 pounds as well. I think that's the end of my presentation. My number and contact details are there as well. So I don't know if anybody's got any questions on the back of that. It's a lot of information, I appreciate.
Hi, Esther. Sorry, I'll put my video on. I must admit, I've not had my video or my microphone on. Hello, it's Simon Paul from Pro2.
Hi, Simon.
Hi. We do actually use your service. It is a fantastic service. Just a quick question. I've not thought of actually using the chamber discount, so yeah, we'll have to look at that. But we worked for vehicle manufacturers doing a range of different sort of testing for them. So bring vehicles on for a short period of time. Yeah. So wouldn't have them as a long-term annual policy, if you like. But yeah, is there something that you do as an annual policy where you can add cars for a certain period of time and then take them off?
Yes, you can. So the scheme works. It's like a standard policy. So what you can do, Simon, if, for instance, your minimum number is going to be, I don't know, say 5. Yes. You're always going to have 5 vehicles on. You can have those 5. You can join with those 5 vehicles. Now, then, if one of those 5 needs to be taken off and you replace it, you can just do the swap. You can take one off and put one on, and you can keep doing that for the remainder of your contract. What we can't do then is, if you then get down to 3, is then refund the difference for the 2. So what would happen then? You'd have 2 spaces to add the 2 vehicles on, but you can literally chop and change those vehicles
as
as
often as you
often
need
as you
to.
absolutely.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that sounds good. Is it okay to contact you just to find out
Yes.
how we get that policy sorted? Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
brilliant.
absolutely. My number is there, Simon, and my email address is there as well.
Lovely. Okay, great stuff. I'll be in contact.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Just you must quote the code though, Simon. You've got to quote the code.
Yeah, what is the code? Sorry, I missed that bit.
I'll show you in my presentation afterwards,
Yeah.
Simon. I'll show you where
Okay.
it
Perfect.
is.
Great stuff. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Esther. One of the questions that I'm often asked is whether or not if someone, one of our members is already an AA member, can they benefit? So I thought I'd ask you, I know the answer to this, I think, but can I ask the question to you, please?
Yes, so if they're already a member, if they've already got a fleet membership, that's the important thing because it's fleet membership, and they've already got a policy, a live policy, the best thing to do is to let us know before you go to renew. We can then put the code in against that policy, and then the discount will then start to apply. So that's the way to do it. So it doesn't change the tenure, but then it just changes the rate for the membership that they've got. So they can do that as long as normally the renewal will go out 6 weeks before the actual date. So if they can let me know either before, then we can put that code in ready for the next renewal, or change it at the point of renewal. We can do that.
Brilliant. Thank you. I'm making notes here because that wasn't quite what I thought. So I've learned something there. Fabulous. Thank you very much. I'm just going to quickly check the chat and see if there's any other questions there. There's no other questions there for you, Esther.
Thank you.
But if anyone does think of anything subsequently, please do pop it into the chat, even for one of the speakers that's already spoken. And I would like to now introduce Caroline Mason from Westfield Health, that's going to take us through the fabulous benefits that we can all, enjoy, really. So thanks, Caroline, and over to you. Caroline, you're on mute.
Oh, I've done it again, haven't I?
I didn't notice straight away. There you go.
So I was just saying, thank you for the introduction. So I'm Caroline from Westfield Health. So obviously what I want to do is just give you a little bit of an overview of our organisation and how we can actually support you, and then a run through of the Chamber Primary Health Plan, which is a great benefit. Firstly, what I'd always say is I appreciate completely that for some of you, you may not necessarily be the person who looks after rewards and benefits, but if there's anything that you like the look of or think that you actually, it would be worth having a conversation with, please feel free just to, pass any information on to any of your colleagues. So a little bit about ourselves and Westfield Health. So we've been running for over 100 years, traditionally in the health cash plan market, although we have diversified a lot over the last sort of 10 to 15 years, and we can now support all organisations with their overall health and wellbeing objectives. So we do support, it's almost 9,000 companies across the UK, and we've worked with the British Chamber of Commerce now for over 15 years. We've worked with the Chamber of Commerce longer than I've worked for Westfield, which is coming up for nearly 14 years now. We do, as I said, have over 100 years experience, and we also have a 98% retention rate. So out of all companies that work with us, we do really work on long-term basis with a lot of organisations. Now, with ourselves, our approach is perhaps different from other sort of healthcare providers, as is all around understanding what you're looking for, what your objectives are, and then at times trying to build something around how you actually want to support your employees. So it always starts with that initial conversation. What we do, so as I said, although we're traditionally known for health cash plans, now we'll sort of come on to the chamber plan in just a second. We also know that every company's needs are different. We work with companies who have over 1,000 employees, right down to sole traders in the chamber market. And the needs of every organisation is very different. With some organisations, it may not necessarily be around looking at rewards and benefits, or potentially it may be that you have health insurance elsewhere and you're more than happy with that. And of course, that's absolutely fine. but we can now support companies in so many different areas. We have grown as an organisation a lot over the last 5 to 10 years. So part of our drive now is to work with companies to provide gyms and manage gyms. We can create active spaces. We run wellbeing programs. We can support companies in dedicated mental health support plans and things such as mental health first aider training, and right through to private health insurance as well. So if it is more sort of the surgery cover that you're looking for, we do a great scheme which really works well as an entry level plan and can be dovetailed onto your chamber plan. And for our private health cover, it's also community rated, which means the great thing is it doesn't go up in price if you claim, it doesn't go up with age. So we do a variety of different options, even things like health screening on sites. Like we said, we know every company's health and wellbeing objectives are going to be different. Now, with the actual chamber plan, of course, this is available for BCC affiliated and accredited chamber members. The idea of that is it is a corporate scheme, but the way we've designed it, we've picked out benefits that should support an organisation regardless of what your goals are. So for a smaller organisation, it's very much about looking after yourself and your key workers. What would happen if you suddenly had to be off work for a week with a back problem? So what we do is we look at, well, actually, can we look at the preventative side? Can we help support you before things get to that stage? There's 4 levels of cover to actually choose from. So again, you can create reward strategies, and it works out from just £6.74 per employee per month. The premiums don't increase with age, like we said, and your employees would also have the option to add cover in. So if they did want to actually pay a little bit more for extra cover, or potentially they wanted to cover their partners or other additional adults, there is the ability for staff themselves to take additional cover on top of what you're providing. And we also do cover dependent children now on the plan as well at no extra cost. There's a number of health and wellbeing services all embedded. So the idea about the chamber plan is not only is it going to support your staff with their everyday health cover, which is at this moment in time is really going to support people when we're in a little bit of a cost of living crisis, because we know sometimes your regular dental appointment might be the first thing to go when you're trying to save money. But it also works well for supporting your staff and sometimes supporting some of those sort of legalities. So it does come with a lot of mental health support embedded into the plan. There's our GP helpline, which gives access to actually speak to a UK-based GP. You've also got our Westfield Rewards, which takes it through from just being around actual day-to-day healthcare right through to sort of more perks. So again, helping people at this moment in time with cost of living by giving them access to discounts and savings at over 700 retailers. And there's also our gym discounts built in. So this slide just gives you an idea of how the plan fits together. So like we said, there are 4 levels of cover to choose from. So for a lot of companies, they may start with a level 1 or level 2. It's more of an entry, particularly if you're dipping your toe in the water for the first time with rewards and benefits. But the way we've designed it, like we said, we know every company's needs are different. So it is around sometimes trying to support your recruitment and retention needs. We know, of course, it's very much an employees market at this moment in time. I speak to so many companies where they really have a difficulty actually recruiting the right people. At the same time, there's a real opportunity, particularly in the Southeast. We know COVID has changed the way people look at their employment. I know of companies now that are actually attracting city workers for the first time, because those workers, I think, are looking at their own work-life and balance, whereas 3 years ago, they would, of course, have travelled in and expected a certain wage. They're now happy to be hybrid workers or a smaller commute into the office. But at the same time, a lot of these workers expect benefits as standard. So with smaller organisations, what a health cash plan can do for you, as opposed to, say, full private medical, it really can be that difference to set you apart from some of your competitors in your own area. So the idea of the plan is a number of health cash plan benefits. So as you can see on those levels, anything that has a cash amount is an amount that you can claim back per year. So if you did go for the level 2, for example, you put this in place for your organisation, all of your staff would get a pot of money to use for all of those health benefits. So for optical, £105. So in a way, this is also going to absorb some of your other obligations. So if you have in a situation where you do pay eye tests or you pay money towards glasses, this straight away can absorb those costs for you. You know, by putting in a health cash plan, it will support some of the actual things that you are committed to from a health and safety aspect as well as sometimes just doing the right thing, helping to support sort of your absence related costs. So you can claim for optical, dental, there's therapies and specialist consultations on there. So again, this is all around quick access to diagnostic tests and treatment for your employees. We know the NHS are amazing, but likewise, we also know they're under pressure like never before. That can be a bit of a lottery as well, depending on where you live in the country. But even if you have great pathways, quite often what we find is that potentially will be for more serious conditions, chronic conditions. If you've got a problem with your back or your knee, the chances are you could be waiting 6 to 9 months simply to see your consultant. So this again allows your staff to get quick access, get them to the point of diagnosis, and potentially just take that pressure and stress off, particularly if they're feeling a little bit anxious. With health and wellbeing services, like we said, you've got the GP helpline embedded into your scheme, which again, if staff are phoning in sick and saying, well, I can't get a doctor's appointment for a few days, this is a really good support side. And as with the inbuilt EAP service within the plan as well, which automatically includes access to structured counselling as well within the actual scheme. So like I said earlier, the idea with the plan is this is all around a nice tailored plan which can support your staff of any size organisation, whether it is a case where there's only a couple of you in your organisation. You're very much looking at supporting yourself. What would happen if you had a back problem and had to take time off? Being able to access that physio and being able to claim some of that money back if you're going privately could be a great advantage. And as for the larger organisations, straight away you've got almost those support services in built. You may have a separate EAP plan. This scheme very much, like I say, is something there for everybody, regardless of the actual circumstances of why you actually why you're looking for rewards and benefits for the first time. So that is sort of a very quick overview, I appreciate, of the actual plan. One other thing I would also say is after events such as this, I normally always sort of send connection requests on LinkedIn or a quick email if you do perhaps want to have a chat about anything. I'm going to pop my details in there in just a second. But we do also share lots of free resource on our on LinkedIn. So if you don't want to give myself a follow, you could always follow our organisation, Westfield Health. We have lots of research pieces, free downloadable resources. So we do try and create a little bit of buzz on health and awareness campaigns. So there's lots of things that you can tap into, even if you're not an actual specific customer of Westfield Health at this moment in time. And we also do free webinars as well. So we have got one coming up the end of April. And again, I do try and share these in the chamber groups. So please look out for those. I think hopefully I'll be updating that this week. So the next webinar we've got, and these are designed more at business owners and HR teams on how to actually support your staff and how you can help your employees. And our webinar in a couple of weeks' time is around supporting staff who work and have children and caring responsibilities. And then next month it's a mental health themed topic, which is more around what the benefits are of having mental health first aiders within your organisation, and more importantly, how to support your mental health first aiders. So if you do join one of our webinars, if you can't attend, we send you a recording, and then you will be on our marketing list, and we can also, pop you further information that you might find useful about. But I've waffled on for long enough if anyone does have any questions.
Yeah, is that okay if I ask one, Sue? Is that okay?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. I think we, as a charity, we use your facilities, Westfield Health, but I don't think we do it through the chamber. How would we go about looking at if we could apply the discounts? Because obviously we're quite a small charity, and obviously money is tight at the moment, obviously for charities especially. And I must say, I claimed my last eye test on it, and the process of claiming is so simple and easy, really straightforward, and the payment coming really quickly. So as an organisation, it made me think, actually, that's brilliant. It's well worth doing, because I've been in schemes before where it takes ages to make a claim, and it's so like despondent, you just sort of spend hours doing it. But yours was really great. So who is it good if I get a sort of person who runs our scheme to get in contact with you to have a chat about how we could potentially apply the chamber discount to the scheme we're already using with you and things like that? Is that the best way of doing it?
It would be, Darren, and I'm glad you said that. I was going to put you on the spot, recognise your company name straight away, because I did used to look after your organisation. Because some of your sites is based at it's around Devon, isn't it?
So we've got Devon, Surrey, Wiltshire, and we opened in Kent last year. So we're a year old in about 2 weeks' time. So yeah, in Kent. So yeah, so we joined the Kent Invicta Chamber of Commerce. I think Vicky pressured me at about 1 million events, so we finally got there. No, I'm joking. No, it's well worth joining. But I just wanted to, obviously, if we can benefit from it as a charity, it'd be great to benefit from the discount. And like I said, you know, the website and how you make your claims and the service you provide, especially the helplines, the mental health stuff to some of our frontline staff is fantastic. And I know they use it a lot. So it'd be great if we could sort of work that way with the chamber discount as well.
It is. We certainly have a look at it. What I would say, Darren, is I know the plan that you're on as well. Like I said, I did just look after your account going back a couple of years. A lot of our schemes can be similar. The chamber, rather than being discounted, is more of a bespoke plan. So it's been designed specifically for organisations. So cost-wise, I can't say it would be cheaper. It may be. I don't know how much your organisation pay for your scheme anymore.
Yeah.
But it's more around some of the benefits that have been picked out. So things like the personal accident, the access to the scanning helpline, they're sort of things that may not necessarily be on your scheme.
Gotcha.
So it's always worth us having a look. So if you do raise it with your HR team, and what I'll do, I'll send an email to my colleague who I know who does look after your account, and just maybe just tell her to just drop an email just to see if they do have any questions.
Fantastic. Will do. Thanks, Caroline.
Thank you. Any other questions, Caroline, or any of our other speakers so far? Hello, Marie.
Hi, Sue. Thank you. I had just a quick question for Caroline. Do your schemes cover pre-existing conditions as well?
They do, and I cannot believe that is normally a big one that I always say that I've missed out on, because again, that sets us apart for your traditional health insurance. Yes, one of the great things again around health cash plans in general, and what I would say, this is not just us, this is most health cash plans that you can actually get. One of the great benefits is pre-existing conditions are covered. There's often no waiting period. So let's just say, for example, it was something you were interested in putting in place for your organisation. You put it in place from the 1st of May. Literally from the 1st of May, when your plan goes live, there's no waiting period for claims, and it covers pre-existing. So if one of your staff members literally needed to claim on physio straight away, they've been struggling with a back condition, say, for the last year, there's going to be no exclusions that apply.
Great to know. Thank you. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Well, if no one's got any other questions, I'm going to move on to our very own Victoria Galvin. Last but not least, Victoria's going to talk to us a little bit about the free marketing tools that are available as part of your membership that's accessible to everybody. So over to you, Vicky.
Thank you, Sue, so much. It's lovely to see all your faces today, and hope you had a nice Easter break. Thank you, Mandy, Caroline and Esther, for your presentations. They were fantastic. And I know that as you know, my fellow colleagues with Sue and Angela and Katie, we do individual one-to-one sessions. So as an extension of that, it's really great to have you here today, so that if anyone's got any nitty-gritty questions, then they can come to you about it. So thank you so much. So conscious of the time a little bit, so I will, as quickly as possible, share my screen with you. What I really wanted to do, and thought it was a great opportunity in this particular webinar, is to show you behind the scenes. So I am hoping that everyone has got their login details. If you feel that maybe you've misplaced them or you don't know where they are, then please do let us know. You can email at the info@kentinvictachamber.co.uk, or come to me, or come to Sue, and we'll be more than happy to sort that out for you. So initially, when you join the chamber, you do get a startup session with my lovely colleagues Angela and Katie. And then Sue's always welcome to do those as well for the existing members, and run through on more of a personal level. But I'll just run through in particular the marketing tools, which doesn't always jump in your face, but these are really, really important for if you're wanting to raise your profile a little bit more and get yourselves on a different platform. So make use of our website and make sure that you're on the newsletter, things like that in the magazine. So give me 2 ticks and I will share the screen with you and show you what that looks like. Right, so I'm hoping everyone can see that okay. So once you have logged in, the first page that pops up is your account page. And here you will find the middle tab sections. which are a little bit like your settings, and you can go in and use those, go and have a look. You've got the benefits section there, so that you can go in and browse what the affiliates are all about. And in particular with Quest, I just wanted to show you how you would obtain your login details if you ever wanted to use the documents or download any templates. So what you would do is you would go into the further details of any 4 of these. On the landing page, you've got the link there to the website. And then if you go down a little bit further on the right hand side in this blue box, you will have your unique username and password, and then you would be able to log in, access that library and any documents and templates that you might need. And then here you've got the advice line as well, a 24/7 advice line that you can give them a call if you've got any queries. Incredibly helpful. They've helped so many of our members, so highly recommend if you've got any issues, especially with HR, get on the phone to them, just double check everything and make sure that everything's in place for you right from the get-go. So further down, then you've got the AA roadside assistance. So in extension to what Esther was saying about the making sure that you quote the discount code, again, go into further details, and then you will then see your member discount code. So that's where that's located, and then you can quote that to the person that you're speaking to and inquiring. So in regards to the marketing tools, the first one I wanted to show you, which has become incredibly popular, is something we call member-to-member offers. So if I go into the page here, in order to access and have a look at this page, you will have to make sure that you have logged in, which is important that you know what your login details are so that you can log in and then you can have access to this. So essentially, this is a little bit like a chamber perk box, really. So if I scroll down, these are all chamber members offering discounts, money off, consultations, things like that. Completely up to you what you want the offer to be. You can do it whenever you're ready, whenever it's relevant to what you're doing. And this is really great if you wanted to create a little bit more noise about what you're doing. And then there's a platform here for you to do that and communicate that with other members. So I think one in particular that they're all going crazy for is the 20% off at Port Lim, but yeah, do have a browse on there. There might be something that pops up to you. Alternatively, if you wanted to put one on, very, very simple. There's some instructions as you scroll down right at the end. All you would do is ping us across a PDF or a JPEG of your offer to Katie or Angela. Then what they will do is they will upload it onto this page for 2 months. Do have to make sure that on that offer that you send through, that somewhere on there does say that it is a chamber exclusive offer. And then yes, what we will do is we will upload it onto this page for 2 months. At the end of the 2 months, they usually do contact you to say, we're about to take it off. Do you want us to put it on again, or would you like to put something new on? But yeah, no, this has become incredibly popular, and it's very useful to a lot of the members to use. So it's not just viewed on this page either. So every month, members should be getting a newsletter sent to them via email, and this list will be put on there, as well as the social media channels as well. So yeah, do let us know if you want further information about how to do this. But yeah, hoping that you find this particular tool very useful for you. Along with this, we also have members lists as well that can be requested if that's required. So this will be an Excel spreadsheet, a list of all the members. We've put information like activities, sectors, so you can really target that search down, and then you can, have a look to see which area they're in. You've got the contact numbers on there. most importantly, I would say you would have the primary contact as well. So you've got, you know, a good contact to if you do need to speak to them. You know, what better way than you're a fellow member as well. So they're very handy, and we can ping that across to you whenever you request it. If the only thing it will not have are email addresses because of GDPR. What I would say, if you've done a target search and you are wanting to email, then I would visit our Find a Business page of the website. Now, this is our most important page of the website. It's our most visited. So I would, more than anything, I would say that if you have not done your business listing, please make sure you do it. We are not just getting members coming on this page, we are getting non-members as well. They are trying to find reputable businesses as well. So making sure that you have got your profile set up and ready on here is really, really important, so that you can be searched by name, by the business activity, and you can be under up to 4 business types. With these business types as well, if you feel that you would like to be under the under one that's not on here, we can create that for you. It's absolutely no problem. Again, give us a call if you've got any queries on how to do it. But I would say that it's one thing that we probably nag like annoying mums about, I would say, is the business listing, because it's the most important. You can go in and change it, because I know you know there'll be times where companies have moved, need to change their details. So there is a section on this My Account tabs dedicated to your business listing. It's very self-explanatory, and you can go in there whenever you want to and tweak it, put more pictures in. There's a lovely carousel feature on there. Put your testimonials in, list your services, and this is the place where, you know, you're really explaining what you're all about, how to be contacted, and create a bit of noise about yourself, really. So really, really important page. So that's the business listing. Directly underneath the business listing, you've then got the section where you can submit a blog article. So if anyone's wanting to submit that through, as many as you want to, there's no limits, and whenever it's convenient. And it is very, very self-explanatory. Literally a title, upload an image, and then paste your article content. Then once you hit submit and it is checked, it will go into our members blog page, which is our 3rd most visited page of the website. And I really hate that our 2nd most visited page of the website is Meet the Team, because it's got our baby pictures on there. But yeah, the 3rd most visited is the members blog page. So members at the moment, they are really wanting to know about, you know, sustainability, carbon net zero, health and well-being. So they will come on here to find out that information. And then they'll come across your blog and find out a little bit more about you. So yeah, it's a really important tool as well, and very useful to put something through. So finally, I wanted to talk to you about the Thinking Business magazine. So we have a magazine that we send out every 2 months to all of our members. So it's a physical copy. We've also got an online version. So if anyone ever wanted to have a look at past ones on the online version, thank you, Sue. She's holding the lovely magazine out there. Go into Resource Hub. Then you have got, you can search Thinking Business, and it will give you some examples there. This is the section here of the website that you will also be able to find some of the webinar recordings. So like this one will be recorded tomorrow. You'll be able to have a look, and you know, if you wanted to browse any of the past ones, you can also. So the Thinking Business magazine. When a member first joins, they are given a free 250-word article that they can put in this magazine. We will also send, if you request us to as well, we usually send a schedule for the year, because they will have different themes. So this will always be on your account until you've used it. So some of you may have used it already. If you have, then not to worry, you can have another article, another free 250 word that you can put into our members news section. Just bear in mind that this is subject to availability, but we do try and fit it in as much as possible. Moving forward, if you just love the traction that you've got from it, I know that members get very excited when they put their article in. I often see the pages being posted on LinkedIn, so it's really, really great to see their enthusiasm there. Then you can speak to the publishers, and they do chamber rates for half a page, full page, double spread, something like that. So we do send a physical copy to all of our members and larger organisations as well. We also dot them around at our events. So you know, if that's something that you're really considering doing, then do get in contact with us. It's usually my lovely colleague Julia at the office that is in charge of this, and you can get in contact with her. But yeah, if you did want to send through your article, then more than happy for you to send it to myself or Sue, and we can forward that on for you. Right, so I think I've gone through the marketing, all the marketing tools. Did I miss anything else, Sue, do you think?
No, not at all.
I think we covered everything. Did anyone have any questions on that? I hope it was clear for everyone.
Vic, how do you put things on your LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, right, okay. It's I would highly suggest that you join the Kent Invicta LinkedIn page, because then you'll be able to post as much as you like for members. Really, really good. There's a lot of our, you know, existing members that are on there as well. Alternatively, if you are, you know, wanting to create a bit of noise about something, you've got an event that's coming up, or you know, there's a specific offer, you know, put the offer on our member to member offers, obviously. But if you do want to you know, put it out there a little bit more, myself and Kaz, if you tag us, then we'll be more than happy to share that for you as well. So really make use of that. So does that answer your question, Matt?
No, because I still don't know how to join.
Oh, what, the Kent Invicta page?
Yeah,
right, okay, follow it. I will speak to Kaz, and then she will accept you, and then you can start posting.
Right, okay, cool.
Excellent. Yeah, and that goes for anyone. If anyone wants to join that and they're unsure, then get in contact with me, and then Kaz is the one that looks after it, so she'll make sure that she accepts you onto that.
Fabulous. Any other questions for anybody? I
think that might be everything. We've run over a little bit. Sorry, guys, but
yeah,
that useful.
Well, thank you. It was so fantastic. Those 4 really fantastic presentations there with lots and lots of information. So if anyone's got any other questions, shout now. Otherwise, you're welcome to contact us at info@kentinvictachamber.co.uk or any of us individually. Yeah, just thank you very much for coming along, and I hope you found it useful. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Just quickly, while I've got you guys on there, I'm a trustee for Kent County Playing Fields charity, but they're looking for ways to spend their money on useful causes. And the causes they're looking for are disadvantaged children in Kent that require help with sports facilities or play facilities, maybe sensory areas in locations. So if anyone's got any ideas, be useful.
Okay.
Right.
Let me think on that one.
Yeah, I think I might have to think on that one, Matt, as well, and get back to you.
Yeah, I don't know whether school primary PE teachers, I don't know whether we've got any links on the chamber for there.
Yeah.
But they've got quite a substantial amount of money that they want to spend on decent causes.
Courses, okay. Right.
So decent causes. So whether it's individuals or whether it's areas or things that, you know, make a difference to the community. So, you know, it'll be good if we can get the chamber involved in that.
Definitely something worth putting on our LinkedIn page, Matt, as well.
Cool.
And,
no problem.
Yeah, I would share that.
Have you had a recent list of our fellow members at all, Matt? Because I could get that sent out to you to have a little look. There might be some members there that might jump out at you as good organisations to make some connections with.
Yeah, no, that'd be useful. Thanks, Sue.
I'll do that. Okay, thank you.
I'll have a think as well, and I'll ask Kaz what her views are on it, and get back to you in regards to contacts and potential members.
No problem. Yeah, no, we had a meeting last night and I said, well, why don't you ask the chamber? Because they want to know who they can help.
Excellent.
So,
that's lovely. Oh, that's great. Thanks for that, Matt. Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you everyone that's come along to this event, and also thank you to our fabulous speakers, to Mandy, Caroline, Esther and Vicky, and wishing you all a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thanks.
Guys, lovely seeing you. See you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.